Hi, I'm Christian Mahler from GLOBAL.Ga.P, and you're listening to another episode of GAP Talks. This is the podcast that shines a light on those working in the global food and agricultural industry. We hear about who they are, what they do, and what drives them to make this sector the best it can be. And all the while with a focus on GAP, on good agricultural practices. Today, I'm talking to Felipe Vargas
Nice to meet you.
about his experience and motivation to be in times and to be a 2 times winner of the GLOBAL.Ga.P Awards. Hello, Felipe.
Hello, how are you doing, Mr. Christian?
Very good. Well, thank you for having and taking the time and sharing with the audience your experience. You are really a producer coming from a family farm producing bananas in Costa Rica, and Varcli Pinares is the company name. Your father has founded it, or
Yes.
is
Indeed, my father founded the company in year 2000. Actually, he started that company to manage some of the lands he started to buy in Matina, in Limon. It was in 2009 that we started actually our business as a banana company. Actually, that was the moment when I started immersing myself in the banana business because I would like to say that I know a lot about bananas since I was born because my dad has been working on the banana business since I was born. But actually, working on the field was till 2009. So I have something like 11 years of experience, but I have been all around the banana business thanks to my dad since almost 30 years now.
Wow, great. And I remember still the moment when you were at our summit and our conference and first time a winner of the GUP Awards. And then I said, I come back and you actually be a second time in the winning. So what a passion. So share with our audience what drives you in this industry. What makes your passion that maybe to explain the GUP Awards is really a public announcement to apply for innovation and sustainability and social issues to really be front runners of the industry with respect to not only being GLOBAL.Ga.P certified, but go beyond, go the extra mile to demonstrate what is good. What drives you that you could, with your family business, spend so much extra time to make this happen?
Well, I have to say that it's something that started way before the banana plantation. As a student in the university, Universidad de Costa Rica, in my personal case, I started working in an international organization that is called ISEC. It's an international platform that basically helps the students from going from their countries to another country to have a job experience. So they had a motto that I really liked in that time. It was, "It's up to you." So it really changed my life. Actually, when you have the opportunities, when you are given the chance to actually learn and to actually do an impact in the society, it actually really depends on you if you're going to take that step. So I really took that on my personal case. I really brought it to the experiences that I have been doing throughout my years. When I started the banana business, actually, it was an opportunity that my dad gave me. So for us, for my dad, it was a chance to actually do a whole banana business by himself. He's also a banana owner of another banana company. And for me, the chance to actually do something for my family. When we started our business, we started with a new packing system that we call the New Millennium packing system, which actually enabled us to reduce the water consumption to less than 5 liters per banana box. Just to make a comparison with the normal water consumption in the banana business, it goes around 150 liters. So that was the way we started. Actually, in my case, it was really nice because I was so in love. I'm still in love with my business that every single lot of the farm, I put a name of someone that was important for me. So I wanted to give a little bit of myself in the business, and that
So
was
you had the opportunity, just driven with your personal passion and also with yeah, your father's involvement, your parents' involvement in
yeah.
this, giving you some freedom. They
Oh yeah.
recognize your passion.
Actually, that was really nice. I have to give thanks to my dad every single time because actually having someone to give you that independence to make decisions, to do mistakes, and to learn in life is something that really is important in order to be able to do what we do. For example, we became actually the first banana farm to have an off-grid solar energy system. That was something like 8 years ago. Today, thankfully, and also due to my dad, that he is really hard-headed because he believed in the solar energy and he said, "I'm not going to get the energy of the conventional energy. I'm going to work solar." So we invested $40,000 this year on a new system to
Wow.
actually renovate completely what we are doing in our farm. And actually, today we have had like 1 month already packing every single box using strictly solar energy. So that's something really, really amazing.
Wow. So you already almost getting climate neutral in
Oh,
all of
yes.
this, right? Perfect. That is a big thing. I will talk later and towards the end of our talk again about this real experience winning the GUP Awards and what you want to share with the rest of the people. I want to keep this to the end of our talk as people stay with us in this GUP talk. Let's look a little bit into yeah, the current situation into what is around the world. We're not talking politics, even though today,
Yes.
as we record this, it's the 4th of November, and everybody knows that we're not knowing what elections will be doing around the world. But we also have something else. We have the coronavirus that causes the COVID-19 disease, and it has some impact, a lot of impact of many people that lose their lives or their income, their jobs, and
Mhm.
etc. You are a young farmer, you're passionate, you look for a long time future. What does this do to you? What is your concerns and what maybe are your hopes with respect to Corona?
Okay, so first thing I have to say, if I have to be truthful, is that coronavirus for us was how to put it in a beautiful way. It was not as impactful this year as it will be next year because we already have every single contract stated since last year for the fruit of 2019, 2020. For 2021, it will be a different situation because we are really impacted by the international markets. Just as you mentioned, the politics affect us, the climate conditions affect us. Just to state a fact, I have friends in Nicaragua right now that are going under a hurricane. So we
Oh,
are really
yes.
speaking with them, trying to see if they are doing okay, because we are in a group of growers that actually work with a client, and we are really we're really afraid what is going on over there in Nicaragua. But actually, I have to say that those conditions are part of our business, and taking coronavirus is, well, we would have to put it in a scale, you know. Um, Coronavirus is something that we weren't expecting, but it's something that we have to manage. And I have to say that being in a pandemic or being a generation that is under a pandemic is actually something amazing. So it's a school. People are learning right now every single thing again and again. You know, it's like people are really starting to know what is really important in their lives and taking measures. People are really learning how to take care of themselves in a matter. And I have to say that Thankfully, in my family, we've only had a case. One cousin of mine is a doctor. He actually was some like the second or fourth case of coronavirus in Costa Rica because he attended the person who brought coronavirus to Costa Rica. After he got that disease, our family took a decision of basically every single person is going to take care. And thankfully, we haven't had any additional cases in our family. As a Vargas Clement family, we haven't had any. So if people take care, usually we won't get diseased.
Right. So in summary, you said yes, it's a learning. It hasn't affected you yet that much, but there are more issues. There are more changes. Yeah. So you talk about climate, and you have extreme climate conditions like hurricanes, in Central and South America, and in many places where also bananas are grown,
Yes.
Philippines, etc. You're having more and more different um, severe weather conditions. So if you look at the industry, do you think, is there any major change that you will experience in the next time? I mean, you have responded already to climate by being yourself almost independent and take solar and look into water systems, etc. What other type of changes do you expect the industry will actually bring?
Well, that's a really interesting question because I have to say that we're really, well, more than afraid, concerned about year 2021 because it's actually difficult. Even in 2019, I thought that I had something like a crystal ball, that I was actually doing things right and that I knew what was going to happen. But next year is going to be quite interesting, because we already have been speaking with our clients and they are saying like, okay, the conditions in our markets are diminishing, they are not good. We were hoping that in Europe things were going to be better, like no more coronavirus, and now you have like a second wave and people actually are in lockdown. I have to say that my sister right now, she's in Switzerland. She's doing how do you call it? An internship in the
Yeah.
United Nations. And she was really happy about it, and it's actually quite an experience. But she is right now locked in her apartment. So, so people have to adapt to the conditions. That's part of when we speak about sustainability as a company, it's really important for us to be able to adapt to the conditions. So there are things that we can, and there are things we cannot control. And actually, if you have to ask me what is my concern today with the bananas, I hope to sell all of them for next year. But I'm also thinking about the additional options for business, something like agrotourism or something like that over there in Martinez. So we're actually starting to open our scope to try to develop something better, something that attracts our clients and wants them to buy our bananas.
I see. Yeah. So to be resilient, and when we talk about agriculture as a state of farming, the attractiveness of farming, do you see, when I talk to you as a young professional, you have recently in the last years got married, and so you are just looking forward in the future. You have been brought up on a farm. You were fortunate to have a very innovative thinking father and business you can go in. To go into farming and agriculture, what would you tell other young people? What is needed to sort of get that passion and actually take that risk?
Fair enough. I still remember when I was in the university, they asked me to make a presentation when I was just starting the business, and I said something like time and money. That was like the first thing, that you actually need in order to be able to do any kind of business. But when you go on agriculture, you start seeing something else. It's not just time and money. You also need opportunities. You need independence. It's really important actually to be yourself. I have to say that one of the best businesses that I made in 2018 when we traveled to Peru. Actually, I have a cup that I bought from that experience. Was that I went there and I said to myself, I'm not going to sell a banana, at all. I'm just going to go and enjoy the experience, be a GAP Awards winner, and I'm going to sell my country. I'm going to say that Costa Rica is the best country in the world, the most beautiful for that matter, and that we have the best food available in the world. So imagine taking that idea of the best food in the world and actually going Peru. They think they actually have
Right.
the best food in the world. So due to that experience and actually, as I mentioned, being yourself, was that I made a really good connection with Lud Clerc. He's a very good friend of mine, and we actually, due to our relationship, started businesses next year.
All
So I
right.
that's actually a really, really, really nice experience because I also have had experiences traveling to Spain and to Berlin trying to sell bananas. Oh, it wasn't that good.
I see. Yeah, sometimes it comes from moments when you don't expect them, but being authentic, being
Ex-
yourself, and know your strength, which brings you the strength, brings me to that last question, which I think I'm really keen to learn about. I mean, no one else has won the GUP Awards twice. And I know you don't give up. You want to do another time and
oh
come
yes,
back once we do this. And
oh
I know
yes.
that passion. It's wonderful. Tell me, what was that experience? What did you get out of it? A little bit to let the others feel. What does it mean to apply for? What does it mean to win? Because we already have opened up the new round of applications. We don't have a summit in 2021, but we will have an award ceremony somehow. So make a little bit of a sharing of your experience.
Well, so for us, it was quite amazing because, as I mentioned, we had the new Millennium Packing System that we created since 2009. But we were always packing our boxes and selling them to companies, transnational companies. So once we put the label of those companies on our banana boxes, we lost or we lost our, our identity. So in 2016, it was the first time that I asked my dad, could you give me the opportunity to try to work on our identity? So that was the moment when we got to hear about the GAP Awards in 2015. I think it was, no, in 2014 was the first time we applied. And I was really, really, really amazed about the opportunity to try to go to Qatar, and I didn't go, and I got really mad. But I said, I'm not going to give up. So we applied again for 2016. It was really awesome to have that experience. I still remember I was in the farm taking a breakfast with some of the workers, and I just received like this call, like, "Hey, Felipe, I'm calling you from Germany. You are the GAP Award winner." I was like, "Woo!" So it was quite amazing for us because just as other important experiences that maybe I'm not going to mention with some clients before, that they actually recognized what we were doing, that it was important what we were doing regarding sustainability. To have this type of call, this type of message was, oof. So we'll still speak about it. And actually having that experience, being able to travel to a different country to be on that same room with people such as yourself, a representative from every single retailer company in the world, having the prince of the Netherlands there, and so having that type of experience was, oof, I was a little afraid. But actually, I had also a really important mentor for that matter. Hugo Hayes was a person who told me, Felipe, you're going to have 5 minutes in order to do one or two things. To just become, like dust in the wind, or to actually impact the